everyone.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing, all of you? Doing
So,
fine?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great, great. Uh, and all of you have received the mail from my end, of course, right?
Yes, sir.
Participants, there is one request. All of you are required to expected to keep your videos on. That is the policy we have from our end. And especially when I ask you questions, you are supposed to respond back. Otherwise, that may lead to your attendance. I mean, may not be able to give you your attendance for a day. That is the policy. You must have received the policy, or someone must have told you this. Second, when I ask you a question, please respond back with something, right? And if you have technical problems, then at least share that with me at the same time so that I can look into it, right? So I think it's time I should start talking. Why the participants are still joining? Dishant, Nikunj, can you keep videos on?
Sir, my webcam is not working.
Okay, okay. But we will respond back whenever I talk with you. You will respond
Yes,
back
sir.
with your
Yes,
voice,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So please,
Sir, I'll
all
write in the chat
understand
box.
this. Otherwise, I would have to give. Yes. Otherwise, I'll have to see. Understand. Otherwise, I would not have any other choice than give you absence. So please respond back. Please there stay there in the virtual classroom. That is what I'm trying to tell you, right? It's time already, so let me start talking. So guys, welcome. Okay, before I start asking, before I start discussing this, can someone tell me how many of you were not there in the remedial session so that I understand? Who was not there? If you could raise your hand, or if you could at least tell me in the chat box who was not there in the remedial session. Okay, Mokshita, you were not in the remedial session. Wonderful. Oh, okay. So as I understand that you must be having accounting background, so you did not require remedial sessions for accounting, right? And the
Yes, sir.
remedial sessions were basically, yes, of course, to bring everyone at the same level. That was the idea, and I hope I have achieved that to some level. At least for the sections I have taught, I can say that. So before I start discussing the course and the agenda for today, I would like to show you the course outline. That is what we do for every course we are teaching in every semester, every term we are teaching. So this is the course outline for this course. You will be receiving this course outline from maybe office, or in case they ask me to send you, I will send it to you. Otherwise, the office would send you this course outline. So this is the course outline. The name of the course is Financial Accounting and Reporting, of course. I am sharing this course, means in two sections I am teaching this course. Along with me, there is a senior faculty, Professor Shantanu Mehta. He's going to teach in section C and D. The blog for our course is Accounting for Managers. You can also see my email ID. Anyways, you have received mails from my side, so I need not share that with you. There is also a phone number I have mentioned, 7016978891. In case you have any questions, you can drop a message to me on that number. Of course, I'm not using that number quite frequently, but I will start using that number from now on. The office, so this is my office hours. In case you have any questions, you can write in the mail, and I will start the virtual classroom for solving your individual doubts during this time. So the schedule is mentioned here. Book for this course is Narayan Swami, which I have prescribed in the ebook format. So that also you can expect the most important part, assessment component. So for this course, we have kept one class test, two quizzes, two individual assignments, and one end term examination. You can also see the weightage. You can also see when it is scheduled. So accordingly, you can start planning for preparing for your exams, right? In Nirma, the course is going to be very tight. This course is going to be really tight. So please, I would request you to start preparing for the course and everything from the beginning. And whenever you have any questions or doubts, please come back to me at the same time during the class hours only if possible, right? In the first class, today's class, I'm going to discuss the forms of business organization and users of accounting information. Then I would like to discuss accounting concepts and conventions in the second and third class, where I would be presenting it. So the first three sessions are focusing on basics of accounting, where all of you have some idea about it. Accounting concepts and conventions I had not covered in remedial because it was a part of a regular program. And we are going to look at financial statements, not like a typical accountant preparing T accounts and everything. We are going to look at accounting from business perspective. So we are going to focus on accounting equation and preparing the balance sheet without drawing T accounts in most cases, right? That is how they teach in business schools, and that is the approach better for the engineering students to understand. So that the same approach we are going to follow. And so those who have attended the remedial sessions, for them also it would be a great opportunity to look at the balance sheet and income statement from different perspective. From session 4 to session 10, I think, yes, the focus is on preparing financial statements, and we have identified 3 to 4 cases for this classes, and couple of review problems from the textbook. And session 11 to 15, the focus is on reading the annual report, right? There are other reading books also, that in case you find a library somewhere, or in case you want to refer to it, you can always refer to it, maybe on some online platform, I don't know. You can always refer to these textbooks as well for extra reading, of course. So this is the course outline. Shall I go ahead with the class, guys? Please mention the chat box. All of you, no one has. Sir, please don't mind, but it will be great if we can see you as well. Yes, man. See, understand the problem is my laptop has some software problem, and I am required to reset my operating system, right? And for that, I need to back up all the data, and that will take a lot of time and effort. And because the sessions have started, I'm teaching 3 courses at a time, so I do not have time to take the backup of data and everything. In case I'm getting a laptop or something from the university side at the earliest, I will definitely do that. Of course, I would like to see you as well, and I want you to see me as well. I wouldn't mind that, but understand this is my computer issue right now, and I need to reset it for some reasons. There is not a hardware issue; there is a software issue. But for that also, I need to sit down on this computer and do some activities. So yes, let us move on with the course. I'm going to stop sharing this and going to share the PPT now. I hope the PPT is on. Yes, PPT is on. Just a second. All of you can see the PPT, guys? Mention that in the chat. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Please, whenever you have any questions or doubts, thank you so much. Whenever you have any doubts, questions, or something, please respond back to me right away. And if you have questions which may not be relevant to what I'm teaching at this point of time, I may not respond back right away because there is an agenda set for the session. So in that case, I will ask you to chat with me or talk with me later. Today after this class, I have class in section A, I think. But after section A's class, I'm free. So I think we could have a session or half an hour or something in case you have doubts, right? Okay, wonderful. So let us go to the second page. This is going to my course link in case you want to know. This I have discussed. I have discussed the course outline. That is what it is talking about. If you want to read some extra, I am being maintaining internationalfinancesite.wordpress.com for other courses that I was teaching in earlier colleges, right? So that also you can refer to in case you want to, right? We would also have a Moodle. So you know that you are supposed to access Moodle, and we are supposed to carry out activities through Moodle. So make sure that you are visiting the Moodle platform regularly, and all your exams and quizzes and assignments has to be carried out on the Moodle platform. That is the LMS system, right? We have adopted, right? This I have discussed. Now, like every time before I start discussing, I would like to start with a story, connecting with what I'm discussing today, connecting with the subject, right? Now, this is a wonderful example, a story of Maruti Suzuki, right? Something to be happy about, we have not yet get our IDs. Oh, that is why maybe you, but you are going to receive it soon because the course has been uploaded on Moodle. That is the message we have received yesterday. So it is going to be very soon. Trust me. Right? So in Maruti Suzuki, uh, in the quarter ended on 31st March 2008, had a sales of 47,629, which was 3,500 million more than the same quarter last year. So isn't it good news? Of course, when the sales goes up for Maruti Suzuki, for any company, that's always a good news, right? But unfortunately, the net income for that quarter, and I hope everyone understand the concept of net income, especially after remedial sessions, and those who have not attended, anyways, they understand because they had accounting background, right? The net income had gone down. So at one side you are happy about increasing your sales, on the other side you are not so happy because there is nothing to be happy about it, because even when you feel good about selling more, your investors may not understand this, your investors may not understand this from the net income at least, right? And the reason for that was the depreciation policy that they had adopted or they had changed. Somehow they felt that the tools and equipment cannot be used for 13 years now. So they reduced the life of tools and equipment to 8 years now, and for dice to 4 years from 5 years. And when you are reduced life, uh, uh, just a second, I think background, if you could mute yourself, please. Wonderful. So I should log the meeting now first. Just a second, just give me a second. Okay, perfect. So when the life of the asset is reduced, right, what happens now? You have less years to accommodate the cost of the asset. So now you have more depreciation every year, and because of that, the cost of the company had gone up by 2120 million, at least for the depreciation. And company had also incurred losses on currency derivatives. And I do not want to discuss derivatives at this point because we have courses on that, and that's technical to understand at this point of time. Because of that, the net income had gone down. The bottom line is, what I'm trying to tell you is that increase in sales does not always mean net income would go up. You also need to understand accounting policy, and that is what we are going to discuss in this course, right? There is another example. You might have heard about BHS, that is British Home Store, departmental store chain. The entire business was purchased around 2001 2002 for 200 million, and in 2016 Sir Philip Green sold the entire business for only £1. Can someone discuss this with me? Why this could happen? How this could happen? Please. Now I want your participation. I want you to be participative today, please.
Question regarding the previous slide?
Sarthak, you are saying something? I'm not
Yes,
getting
sir.
your voice.
Question
Please,
regarding the
Sarthak.
previous slide?
Yes, ask.
Isn't depreciation
Yes, ask
usually
me.
dictated by the government?
So depreciation?
Isn't depreciation dictated by the government?
No, in the Companies Act, see, understand, you always have a choice of select accounting policy you want to select. So depreciation is an accounting policy now, and the Companies Act 2013 has specified the minimum depreciation rate, but it does not tell you uh, 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 if they give you minimum rate, you can always adopt what is fit for you, right? Because you are using the asset. Understand. Now, some businesses may be using certain assets for entire 24 hours, and some businesses may be using assets for 8 hours or 16 hours. So because you are using your asset, you are the better judge to decide how many hours or how many years you can use this asset. So some freedom is always given to you. I'm not going to drag this too much because then it will become an accounting class. But yes, you are, of course, government is dictating for most of the assets the minimum depreciation. I would not say government, I would say Companies Act. But again, there is a freedom. Now, it may so happen because of technological changes or something, you may feel that now you may not be able to use this asset for 13 years. Right? That's your judgment, beta. That's your judgment. Right? And government authority cannot ask you to use this asset even when you cannot use it for 13 years. Make sense?
And if an asset can still go further after the depreciation, if an asset should an asset go further, like if, for example, your policy is 8 years and you wish to use it for 10 years, does the policy become flexible in that
You
case?
can do that. You can change. There is a concept of changing the depreciation method, and there is a provision for changing the depreciation rate also. So in
All
some
right.
cases the effect is prospective, and in some cases the effect is retrospective. I will discuss that when the time comes. Right?
Thank you so much.
Sarthak, fine.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome, beta, welcome. Guys, can we discuss about this example? Why the entire business was sold for £1, or
Yes,
shall I
sir.
ask
Sir,
randomly to people?
can I speak?
Please, please.
Can I
Please.
speak? This is Shreya. Yes, sir. Sir, BHS was making losses at that point of time, and to avoid the insolvency result of being insolvent, the Sir Philip Green sold it for Euro 1.
This is not euro, this is pound, beta. In case you have not, you are not able to
Sorry,
see this
sir.
clearly, this is pound. That is fine. That is
Yes, sir. It's
totally
not
fine.
clear.
So you
But
are
it was
right. Of course,
loss.
company was leaking profit. Means company was incurring losses. Wonderful, right? You are absolutely right. Company was incurring losses, lot of losses, and when the company's assets does not have enough value to repay the debt, the business does not have value. Understand? When let's say company has 1 million worth of assets, but in the market it cannot be sold for 1 million, that in that case what happens? In the balance sheet it may look higher value, but in reality no one is buying your assets, no one is buying your business, or no one would like to buy your business. In that case you are willing to sell your business for less price because the business was struggling, of course. And this is also a time in America and UK, understand, where online business was growing, and this is a department for fashion wear and home wears, right? And now we are all buying online most of the time, and especially during COVID, you know what has happened to the local businesses, what has happened to the retailers, not online retailers, retailers on stores, right? You know that what has happened. The similar situation, not similar situation, the world was changing that time in America and UK, and most of the retail chains were not doing well, and that is also a reason BHS was struggling, right? So see, that is what I'm saying. In accounting, accounting may not justify sometimes the real worth of the business, because in the business, in the books of accounts, the value may look different than the reality, right? But we do not really have a better choice than accounting, especially when you are running the business, especially when you are a going concern. And this was not a going concern, this was a dying business, right? So this is my plan. Of course, you should be able to understand the meaning of accounting. You should be able to understand the significance of accounting information and decision making. You should be able to
Sir,
understand various forms of business organization. That is the agenda for today. And also be able to understand the different users of accounting information. Can someone tell me why you invest in businesses? Pradyuman, can you
sir.
Pradyum? I think Pradyum Sharma. Huh.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question. So, what is a
Please
going concern?
answer. That we have next session. We are going to discuss accounting concepts and conventions and principles in the next class. I will give you only one line right now. Going concern means business will continue to run for infinite amount of time. That is the assumption all the businesses have. Is that sufficient, beta, right now?
Okay, sir. I got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Guys, so now please participate, guys. Why do we invest in businesses? This is a very generic question. Why do we invest in businesses? Please
Returns
participate.
are increasing returns are increasing our amount over time with shares.
So to get the return on investment, to earn the profit,
Okay, one by one. Yes, yes.
for earning the ROI.
Yes.
To increase your income or to make money.
To earn a profit, someone mentioned, very good.
To increase the profit sources.
So all of you are mentioning profit. Wonderful. That is nice, because now you understand the concept of profit, right? Of course, the businesses. I'm focusing on the word business. Understand? I'm not saying organization. All business means you want to make money, of course. So to make money, what you do? You carry out certain activities. See, a merchandising business, you may be selling products, you may be selling services, and you want to receive money for providing goods and services. And by providing goods and services at such a price that it is exceeding the cost you have incurred, right? That makes sense. Is it making sense? that when you are running a business, maybe a merchandising business, maybe retailer, maybe a service provider, you want to make sure that the income you receive is more than the cost you have incurred, and that is profit for you, right? That is profit for you, right? Yes. So when you are running a business, you do variety of activities. Like you may be selling products and services, products such as athletic footwear, computers, clothing. You may be selling services, or like Yahoo and Google is doing, like car rental services provided by Uber and Ola, room rental services. You could be anyone, and you could be a large business or small business. You could be a manufacturer, you could be a retailer, or you could be a service provider. Does not matter. All these businesses are doing business activities, and when you do business activities, you are required to make decisions. Make sense, guys? Are we going in the same line? Others, mute your mics, please. Others, mute your mics. Uh, when you are running a business, you do business activities. For all the business activities you may be having, you make decisions, and for making certain decisions, like, and the decision could be to hire the employee for on a contract basis, or the decision may be to buy a premise, or investing a large amount in some company. The decision could be a small decision or a large decision, right? For all the decisions you require information. For a decision that you make for your business to make profit, of course all of you agree upon it, you require information, and that information could be classified into like this. The information could be non-quantitative information and quantitative information. The non-quantitative information is like the morale of employees or the customer satisfaction level. Now, for our course, for what we are discussing right now, that is not relevant, so I'm ignoring it for some time. Then we have quantitative information. In quantitative information, again, we have accounting information and non-accounting information. Non-accounting information is, can someone give me the example of non-accounting information? The average age of employees, that is there in the page itself. I just remembered. Yes. The number of years of experience, maybe the space available to the business for setting up the factory. That is all non-accounting information. Our focus would be on accounting information today. Accounting information can be classified into 4 types: operating information, financial accounting information, management accounting information, and tax accounting information. Now, I want your participation. Can someone tell me what is operating information?
To the operating of the business. So, for example, inventories and other raw material information, what your suppliers are charging for it, etc.
So can we say it
Wonderful,
is the
wonderful.
production
Sarthak,
cost? Production cost.
when you are done with your talking, please mute yourself. I would just accept you. Yes, yes, fine. Next.
So
Yes.
production expenses, operating information.
Production expenses, wonderful, very good. Anyone else? Yes. Please, others participate. I don't want to take random names.
So each and every.
Tutwani, what is operating information, beta? What is operating information? Hers Tutwani or Tutwani? I don't know how.
Sir, operating information. Sir, operating information is related to the inventory and the stock of the goods, related to the pricing, the transportation, and everything. The goods coming in and out of the business, their recording and analysis.
Okay. So, anyone else would like to participate before I say something?
Sir, even depreciation
Please.
would be included, right?
Yes, I'm discussing. I'm discussing that. Yes, I'm discussing. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I'm listening, beta. Please continue.
Operation
I'm listening, continue.
information as in like the process details like the production amount and other aspects
Okay.
related
So,
to
any
the process.
information that is related to the day-to-day activities, can I say operating information? And remember, most of the businesses have the large quantity of information, large amount of information related to operating, because that is the principal activity. Understand? So, of course, all of you are right, right? It is about the amount of raw material you require, the amount of raw material you would be using, the type of raw material you require, when you should be making orders, especially during COVID time, because it is difficult to source raw material from different states now. So that is also an operating information. The lead time, when you should make the order, what is the economic ordering quantity, like what quantity you should order every time. All this is operating information, and the companies and businesses have the large amount of information on operating information, right? So operating information is about the day-to-day activities that the business is carried out, and all of you have participated, so I need not discuss now. What is financial accounting information?
Sir, in financial accounting, sir, we prepare that sheet, cash flow statement, and profit and loss statement. So, sir, we know about the particular company's position and performance related to particular company, and also involve the finance account annual report. So, sir, external user can also
Nihal,
know about that
Nihal, you have
company.
explained it quite beautifully. Is it Nihal? Is it Nihal Patel?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good, very good, Nihal. Can I ask someone else also, because I want everyone to participate? Please,
So
others
financial
participate as well. What is
information
financial
also
accounting
means
The
information?
means
expenses
relates
that
to the
that
debtors
the
and creditors of the company, like the external sources of the company, debtors, creditors, investment, loans, and all. This is included in financial information.
So
So
by
the
financial
information which is,
information,
yes, please participate.
so by financial information,
Yes.
we can say that we get to know all the expenses of the company, all the income of the company, if the company is in the profit or loss.
So can I say that for preparing the financial statements, you also require operating information?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Require operating information, right?
Direct and indirect
Sanya, you
expenses, sir.
are sorry, but
Direct and
Sanya,
indirect
you were saying
expenses.
something? So all of you are right. Let me talk for a few seconds now. I will come back to you because we have to finish the what we have planned also. Financial accounting, always remember, information is targeting the external users of accounting information, right? It is for the outsiders of the business. It is targeting, of course, it is also used by internal managers, internal users of accounting information, but it is targeted towards the external users of accounting information. So there may be various stakeholders, maybe creditors, maybe investors, maybe debtors. They may all look into your financial statement because they have stake in the company. They have some amount of what I should say. They have some level of interest in your business, right? And that is why. So it is targeting outsiders. And also remember that financial accounting information is not a tailor-made information. That means it is not a customized information, and there is a format and there is a standard for that. You are preparing the financial statements based on those standards, based on those formats, based on those common grounds. So when you look at it, or when you look at the financial statements of some other company, or someone else reads it, the same information is available in the same format. So it is prepared in a standardized format, right? So that is financial accounting information. It is targeting the external users and of course internal users, but it is more for external users, so that the investors and stakeholders can make decision, of course. And my plan is also to share this PPT, so you need not worry about writing it down like ditto from the PPT. Trust me, right? You can write down the pointers. You can also you should make notes. I'm telling you, because not everything I would be reading from PPT. You know that, right? You can make notes, but do not write down everything from the PPT. Focus on discussion, guys, right? So the rules are common for preparing the financial statements for all the stakeholders, external users. That is the idea, right? That is financial accounting information. What is management accounting information, guys?
Sir, in management accounting, managers use the financial information to make some important decisions in the business.
Yes,
That
sir. It
means
is
you need
mostly
to
for mostly
modify.
for
Yes, yes,
it is mostly for
yes.
like the internal stakeholders, like inventory report or the cash flow report, like internally, just to analyze where the company is standing or how they should like proceed forward for themselves. And usually these reports are not shown to like the external stakeholders. It is more for the just internal assessment of the company.
Wonderful,
And
wonderful,
mostly big
Mokshita. Wonderful.
businesses
Yes.
do
So
maintain management accounting.
can you give me the
Hello?
Mokshita? Yes, Mokshita. Can you give me the examples of management accounting information, beta?
So
Like inventory reports, they make
Fine. Mokshita, I have given you enough time. I'll come back to you for other questions, beta. I want
Sure.
to give
Sir,
everyone a say equal chance here.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
sir,
cost
sir,
accounting will be for management.
Yes, cost accounting management, wonderful. Good example. Other examples, please.
sir,
Accounting ratios.
sir, production cost.
Uh,
So
Understood. Wonderful. That is also an example.
So information,
yes,
resources available.
uh, all those expenses that are used.
See, all of you are correct. All of you are. Yeah, Charlene, used by executive level business. Of course, all of you are right? But understand what you are mentioning is also part of financial accounting information. I am looking for something which is only available to the internal users, right? If anyone has example, please share. Otherwise, we can advertisement. That is also available in the financial statements, Shreya Umar, right? Right. MIS report done. Of course, MIS is also part of internal management. But you need to give me specific examples, Simran Deep Singh, right? Yes. So can I give an example? Let's say I'm selling three kinds of products. Statement will tell me profit for all the three products I'm selling. But what if I want to know the profit for each of these products? That may not be available to external users, but that is available to the managers because they can evaluate which product is doing better than others. And you see why certain companies like mobile phone companies, I would not take the name, but that is the biggest company in the one of the big giant in the company, which is selling special computers and special mobile phones. Look at their focus now. They are focusing more on mobile phones than computers now. You hardly see any advertisement for those computers different with different OS, but you see advertisement for mobile phones, right? Nowadays, you so see why that focus has changed because they understand which product is doing better. They also know what customers are looking for, right? No one wants to carry this heavy computer everywhere, right? They rather want some device, a smart device, which could do this, may not be the same task, but similar task on that small screen, right? So that is the focus. So that is what managers do, right? They take decision based on the account. So how do they know that their mobile phone division is doing better? Because they have information. They have rearranged the information. Makes sense, right? So there is management accounting. So all of you were, of course, right. Right. Ratio analysis also, right? Wonderful, wonderful. All this information is available. Wonderful, right? And they use this information for planning, implementation, and control, right? Of course. Uh, the last is tax accounting information. Now, I would not like to discuss this too much because we may be having a course on tax accounting later, and of course also on management accounting. Tax accounting based on taxation rules, and always remember financial accounting rules and taxation accounting rules are different. And recently, yesterday, I think our Pradhan Mantri has launched a new platform for taxation. Right, a lot of information I have not gathered yet. I have read somewhat, but but anyways, that is not the concern of this course at least. But what I'm saying is that taxation rules are different. So the depreciation you have applied may be different in taxation accounting, and when depreciation is different in taxation accounting or and other, of course, a lot of other things are there which is not valid or which may be valid for tax accounting. Your tax profit is always different. So most of the businesses, large businesses, have divisions managing taxation. So that is the information you require for taxation accounting, right? Yeah. So let us come back to this. Right? All the businesses are owned and controlled by one or more individuals. They sell products and services for profit. And all of you mentioned profit. I did not say all the businesses are running for profit. What is profit? When the revenues exceed expenses, that is profit. And when expenses are more than revenue, that is losses. We all agree upon this, right? Now, not all businesses make money, and not all businesses make money in the initial years. Let us look at few examples. See, Apple took almost 9 years to register profit for the first time. FedEx took 13 years. ESPN took almost 9 to 10 years. Tesla took 10 years to register profit for the first time. How do you know all these businesses are when they're registering the profit? Because there is accounting, and so accounting is at the heart of information age. About so when I say Apple is better than maybe Orange, or Apple is maybe better than Xiaomi, or Xiaomi is better than Apple, how do you say that? How do you make that statement? You make that statement because you have There is some common language used. There is something common about all of them, right? Their businesses may be very different, right? One may be a real estate business and one may be in engineering, right? Or maybe selling electronics, right? But both are just based on one common language, one common thing, that is accounting. And accounting is always at the center of information. And trust me, all of you are expected to know accounting. Why? Every college you go to, Harvard, you go to, IIMs, no matter where you go, accounting is always in the first term or first semester. The reason is all of you are expected to understand accounting. And even if you are expert in, let's say, marketing or strategy or something, when you move up the ladder, when you go up the ladder in your business, when you get promotion, you are expected to understand accounting, because you need to make decisions, you need to understand finance, and for understanding finance also you need to know accounting. That is why accounting is also important, right? So, if I may ask you, what is accounting? And someone participate, what is accounting? Please
So
participate, everyone. What is
jotting
accounting?
down the transactions that
Sir,
were made
keeping
in the business is known as accounting, keeping the records of all the transactions.
sir,
Okay,
So
that
to
is good,
collect,
wonderful. Yes.
So
keeping
keeping
record of
record
all
of monetary
transaction
transaction.
company.
Actually.
Sir, keep
Yes, very good.
all
All
the
of you
transactions
participate,
happening.
wonderful. Yes, yes.
Hello.
So keeping record of
Please continue.
financial transactions.
so to collect,
So the
analyze,
definition
and
of accounting, yes, yes.
so to collect, analyze, and report the financial data of the company.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, all of what definition you are giving is a limited definition. Now, the role of accountant and role of accounting, financial accounting has changed, of course, right? So, the definition of that which I had discussed in the remedial session is this definition. Accounting is the systematic process of identifying the economic transactions, measuring, which could be measured in terms of money, recording, classifying, and summarizing is the focus. And after summarizing, your job is not over. After, you need to analyze it, you need to interpret it, you need to report it, right, to the users of accounting information, so that they can take the informed decision. That is the definition of accounting, right? And the course is, of course, set in that manner that you should be able to summarize the financial accounting information, as well as analyze, interpret, and communicate the financial accounting information, right? So there are thousands, millions, billions of transactions, and accounting gives you the process, the systematic process gives you balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement that is used by the users of accounting information. And all of you know this because you have attended my remedial. Most of you have attended my remedial, and if you have not, you know this because you had a good accounting background, right? So uh, this uh, this is the image I have taken from the textbook. The business transactions are there regarding purchase of goods, sales of goods, receipts, payments, consumption of raw material. There may be events. All these transactions and events are processed by using the laws prevailing and the assumptions you have made and the principles of accounting, which gives you financial statements. My focus is on three financial statements: cash flow statement, balance sheet, and income statement. So, as I was saying, accounting is a system that provides information about the resources company has, how they are financed. So let's say I want to set up a university. For setting up the university, I require land, I require premises. That is my resources, that is my asset. We in accounting we call it assets, right? But at the same time, I also need to know who is funding it, how it is financed. If I am financing it, it is called equity. If I am borrowing, it is called liability. And by having these resources, I start generating profit. That is a part of income statement. That is the larger picture, right? Okay. So these are the three financial statements you get. I'm not discussing this too much because we have discussed this, and all of you, I hope all of you agree upon this. I do not need to discuss this because you know this, right? Please mention that in the chat box. If anyone want to discuss this, please
Yes,
mention that
sir.
in the chat box. Yes, yes, yes. Fine, fine. So balance sheet is. So what balance sheet? Can someone tell me? What balance sheet?
Balance sheet provides the net data of the assets and
Sir,
liabilities
it's
of
a
the
position statement of the assets and liabilities.
Yes, it's a position statement. It is also called a status report. So balance sheet captures a moment in life. Remember that balance sheet tells you the position of the company at a given point of time. If I am preparing the balance sheet today, it will show the status of my business, the position of my business or any business at a given point of time today. If I prepare the balance sheet tomorrow, the position might have changed. So it is similar to, I had used this term in the remedials, it is like a snapshot. It is like a JPEG image. It is like a PNG image. It is like an image, right? Image. It captures a moment in life. And flow reports are basically prepared for a given period, right? So income statement is a flow report and cash flow statement is a flow report. They are also called performance statement. It captures the performance for a given period. If you not attended sessions, you can imagine this way: your semester or term performance, SGPA we call it, right? Semester grade point average, is your performance. And after every SGPA, your CGPA changes. That is your position. So CGPA is like a balance sheet. Now, not don't take it literally, but just to understand better, right? Balance sheet is capturing the moment. So CGPA is also telling you about your status after all the SGPAs are added to that point, right? And all the SGPAs individually are called performances. So that is income statement, right? We have spent enough time on this, and all of you know this. So I'm not discussing this in detail. Just my personal example once again. Let's say these are all my resources. If you could see my cursor, right side is my resources, and I have 50 lakh worth of resources. I have the loan of 30 lakh rupees. So 50 lakh is the what I have. 50 lakh is what I have. How it is funded? 30 lakh is funded by outsiders. So that is liability. So what is my claim in these assets, these resources? Only 20 lakh. That is equity. And it is always balancing. Resource is also called assets, always equal to liability plus equity, right? So the resources you have are always financed by some means. If the financer is outsider, they are called liability. If the financer is insider or the owner of the business, it is called net worth or equity. Makes sense? Can I go on, guys? I think I should go on, right? We have discussed this example. All of you know this. Balance sheet is at a given point of time, and performance is for a period, right? So if the net worth of a business is 2 million in 2018, it is the position. And if it is 5 million in 2019, that is position. How much change has happened in 1 year time? 3 million. That is performance, right? I'm going a bit faster because I have discussed this in detail in remedial session. Yes. So why accounting is also called language of business, guys? Accounting is also called language of business. Please participate,
Just
guys.
reading the
Because
accounts
it is
report.
only accounting that defines the business.
Sir, it predicts
Okay.
many activities happening in the business.
Okay. Okay. Because how do you understand businesses, right?
Accounting report.
Sorry.
So we
So
can
because
get
due
Yes.
to
Yes.
information
Yes.
about the
accounting report,
business
we
by
can
just going to
understand
the
our
accounting
business.
report. Hello.
Yes, yes, I listened. I'm listening you, beta. So it is. So
Yes, sir.
what all of you are saying is right. It is a language of business because the business is using the language of accounting to represent itself, to talk about itself, right? How do you know business is doing better or worse, or business is positioned at this level, right? How do you know Apple is better than this? Not only because others are talking about it, but also because someone has valued the business, someone has understood the business, someone has looked at the balance sheet and income statement, someone has analyze the information. So that is what accounting is. Accounting talks about business, and the language we use for business is accounting, right? And just like for any language, we have foundational theories, we have foundations. For accounting, we have principles, concepts, and conventions that I'm planning to discuss in the next session, right? In fact, in accounting has special words also that may have a different meaning in real world but have different meaning in the accounting. Like if I say equity, equity means quality of being fair and impartial, but in accounting, equity means claim of the owners in the business. So of course accounting has a special language, so there are words which may have a different meaning, or maybe having some level of difficulty in understanding because accounting is such, right? Okay. Businesses are also called cash dispensing machine because they receive cash from customers and then they spend money. They spend money on paying to their employees to the suppliers, to the lenders, to the government. And if anything is surplus left out, it is available to the owners. So companies are not real, understand? Businesses are not real. If they are not real, nothing is available to the businesses, of course. Everything has to be spread across. Right? So now we are discussing the forms of business organization. That is what is mentioned in the course outline. So what are the various forms of business organization? If someone could participate, please. Yes.
Sir, it can
A
be
sole proprietorship,
proprietorship,
partnership, company, non-profit
partnership,
organization,
company,
joint
non-profit,
into family business.
limited
Wonderful.
liability.
So let us discuss this very fast because this is not something challenging to understand. What is sole proprietorship business? And also discuss the characteristics of it, please.
So where there is a
A
single
business
owner of the
managed by
business.
only
And
one
only
person.
one at a time. Only one at a time, please.
Business managed by only one person.
The business
I
managed by
think we
only
have an
one
option of
person.
raising hand. Yash Doshi, you want to ask? You want to raise your? You are raising your hand right now, or it is for earlier thing, beta?
Sir, I raised it at the beginning of the session.
Okay, because you know this, I'm also running the PPT, and so I cannot follow all the small boxes. That is the problem. I'm so sorry, Yash, that I
Yes,
did
sir,
not see this.
I figured that out later on.
Ha, ha. So because there is a chat box open, there is a participants list, there is an image of showing the participants' faces. So I cannot run all this at the same time. Limitation of limited screen on a laptop, you know that, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So so you can intervene, of course. If the question is really important, please intervene, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
What is sole proprietorship business, please?
Sir, a sole proprietor has unlimited liability on, and all the profits go to him. And he's not a separate entity from the business because he has unlimited liability. And yeah,
Yes, you are
yeah,
right. It is not a separate
then
entity in
they're
reality,
not
but
separate.
from the accounting point of view, please
Accounting
everyone listen to
purposes,
this.
yes, they are.
For accounting point of view, it is a separate entity.
Yes, sir.
But of course, in reality, it is the same entity, which is, I mean, because the same entity is running the business. All the liability is unlimited, the profit is unlimited, right? So
One
the
owner.
business is owned and controlled by one person. There is no special legal requirement of registering the business required. I'm saying no special legal requirement. I'm not saying no requirements. I'm saying no special legal requirement like you require for companies, right? Separate entity only for accounting purposes. Unlimited liability. This is also very important. The business is never taxed. The individuals are taxed. So in case of sole proprietorship, the tax authority do not separate the business from its owner. So whatever income the business has made on that business income, the income belongs to the owner and the owner has to pay taxes according to individual's tax slabs. Make sense? Right? So the advantages, you know, this advantages, ease of business, better control, blah blah blah. You all know all this, right? I'm not discussing this. The limitations are the liability part. The life is also limited. Understand? Selecting the right form of business is also important. And when you start a business, you cannot have a sole proprietorship business for setting up an aircraft business. Are you getting what I'm saying? Right? But you cannot have a company for setting up a small coffee shop in the local market or setting up a pani puri stand near. You cannot have a company. So selecting the right kind of business organization is also very important for the business activity. So for aircraft manufacturing, you cannot have sole because you cannot raise a lot of money individually. You cannot have unlimited resources. But when you have a company, you can raise money from public. Right? So all these forms have advantages and limitations. Understand? The second is partnership. Can someone talk about partnership without looking? Yes.
So,
Yes.
partnership business is owned by more than one person. They again usually have unlimited liability. It's owned and controlled by those multiple people, usually because they share skill sets, complementary skill sets, and things like that. Usually on a smaller scale because of the unlimited liability aspect.
Yes. I'm listening. Yes. Anyone else? Anything? Anyone else would
Sir,
like to add
they
in? Because
don't.
he was good.
Sir, they don't need to register, but it is better to register, of course.
So it is better to have a return agreement. You are saying, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's very
And
good.
registering as a partnership, it's not compulsory for a partnership to actually register in the registrar of. Yes.
Understand? Under the Partnership Act 1932.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Yes.
And they usually invest in proportional sums and reap the rewards and profits and split it a bit depending upon their agreement.
So what is the advantage? The advantage is of synergy. Two partners are working, two people are working, so they can share their talent, right? They can work in tandem to achieve the goal, right? But for taxation purpose, always remember the partners are taxed. Similar to sole proprietorship business, the business is not taxed. The partners are taxed. So and the liability is also unlimited, right? And the classical example, we have a partnership firm of Nike. The Nike was set up as a partnership firm. Now, right now, you see where they have gone. So they have converted their business from partnership into the company. Now you know that, right? They had started with only $500. Now you see where they are, right? So I'm going to the next part. Next is limited liability partnership. This is a new concept. It has benefits of both partnership and corporation. The benefit is that the liability of the partners is limited, right? Now, like the corporations have, right? But the taxation is at the individual level only. So it has combination of both. Limited liability partnership means the partners have limited liabilities. So what they have invested in the business, that is the amount they can lose. Nothing more than that, right? Okay. Next we have corporations. What is corporations? Corporations, everyone knows. It is a separate legal entity. So they can make contracts. They can enter into a contract. They can sue someone. They can be sued also, right? The owners of the corporations are called shareholders, and main managers are called agent. So there is a principal agent relationship between shareholders and agents, managers. The liability is limited by guarantee, or limited by what they have guaranteed, or limited by what they have invested. And there is double taxation. Companies also pay taxes sometimes, and individuals who receive dividend, they also pay taxes on the dividend income. And it is the best form for growth and expansion, of course. There is a new concept of one-person company. What is one-person company? Can someone discuss?
So in this, the person is the 100% owner of the shareholder of the company's assets. Like it is a form of a company, but in this, only one person is the owner.
Yes. So only one person is registering the business as a company, and that company is called one-person company. So there is only one nominee, there is only one director or one owner. The advantage is that, like compared to sole proprietorship, the liability is limited. It is a separate legal entity. It can raise more money because the business is registered. It can easily raise money from banks because it is registered as a company, and there is a tax flexibility. Now, what is tax flexibility? The tax flexibility is that in case of one-person company also pay taxes, the individual also pay taxes for dividend, right? But what you could do, you can show your salary, the owner's salary, as expense and reduce the profit for the company. So there is a taxation flexibility. You understand that by putting your salary as a remuneration as expense in the business, the income of the business will reduce. So you would not pay 30% taxes like other companies are paying, right? And then the only tax you face is the income you receive. That is the income tax at an individual level. So there is a flexibility for taxation for one-person company, right? Because I'm not sitting in the law class, I'm not going to discuss this in detail, but it is there in the PPT. I'm going to share this with you for extra reading. You don't need to know this in this much detail, right? So there are more opportunities, easy to raise money, separate legal entity. We have discussed one shareholder, one director, one nominee is required, right? And at the end, you need to put OPC because it is a one-person company, right? It is also getting the advantage of SSI. You can also be rated by someone. And benefits of income tax law that we have discussed. The same is there. I have discussed this. Now the next topic is, I know I may be going a bit fast, but because you have understood this in the remedial sessions, I am going that fast. I hope in the next classes, when something new is being taught, trust me, we will go at some pace. But I hope everyone is understanding, right? No one has questions. And the language is also easy to understand, right? The language we are discussing. Yes, wonderful. So there are various users of accounting information. There are internal users, there are external users. Rather than showing you the PPT, I want to discuss why managers look at the accounting information. Can someone tell me?
So to analyze the situation of the business and take further decisions.
Okay. Yes.
Make
So
plans.
they can read the mistakes that have been taken while decision making.
Okay, okay, okay.
Sir, for better
Please
decision
participate. I
making,
want open participation from everyone. Yes.
for planning, implementation, and control.
Yes, Apurva, you are right. Of course, for planning, of course, you require information to plan for future. Of course, very good. Next, please.
Sir, to analyze and analyze the financial report and make some particular decision on it.
Very good, Nihal. Wonderful. Yes, you are also right. Please, others also participate. Why managers look at accounting information, please, for better decision making, of course. See, sometimes their salaries are tied with it. The performance of, so they are also evaluated based on so their performance is measured in terms of the accounting information, the profits of the company. And when the business is doing well, they also receive a handsome amount of salary. Right? Because their performance is tied with the performance of the business, and that is why they look at this. Something has popped up on my computer. I hope it will not restart. No, it will not. That is a challenge nowadays. I want to show you the that people. Okay, see, they are more. They are see. They need accounting information because they are required to report this to the owners and other stakeholders, and they are also supposed to monitor the key financial indicators like profit and other lot of other indicators that I will be discussing in the later classes. They make comparison, right? Like if I am the manager in Wipro and the manager in Infosys is XYZ person, you can also compare. Someone may always ask you like your performance is not good compared to that manager in that company, right? They also look at other companies' financial information in case they want to acquire some business. And the most important part, their salary, commission, remuneration, bonus is linked with it. You look at one example. In 2008-9, when Polaris Software Labs did an amazing job, they received 38% more than the last year. 38%, 11.8 million, including bonus, of course, but still 11.8 million as a salary. And there is always a question, ethical question nowadays, that is it justifiable? That I'm not going to say that is right or wrong. At least I cannot say that on this computer virtual classroom. If you were there in the physical classroom, I could discuss with you. But that is an ethical question nowadays, whether what they receive in as a salary, is this justifiable? Because the amount is sometimes too large for some. Is it justifiable to receive millions where the most of the work is carried out by workers and employees and their growth rate is never that high? Right? That is the ethical question we discuss sometimes. Right? If we get a chance to discuss that, we'll discuss that for sure. Right? Second is investor. Why investors look at financial information? Padma, Priya, Ganesh, I saw your email, so I'm asking you, beta. Why investors look at it, please?
So investors look at it because they want to know whether the money they have put in the company is actually getting them the outcome and the ROI that they want.
Wonderful, because they have invested in this business, so they want to understand the return on investment. That is the investment they have made, and the return. The return is something they receive for their investment, is matching with what they had estimated, of course, right? So there may be small shareholders or small investors or large investors like mutual fund and all that. They also look at the information, and they analyze, just like she mentioned, they analyze the risk and return, right? Risk is what you I mean, I don't want to discuss risk and return right now because you have corporate finance course on this, but risk is uncertainty. So when I say I will receive 1 million or the company will make 1 million profit next year, right? That is estimated return. But the risk is, what are the chances of getting it based on previous year experiences? That is risk, right? So risk is uncertainty, right? I'll take another example. Let's say I'm expecting that Orange Incorporation will make uh, 500 million profit next year, $500 million profit next year. If company makes $750 million next year, that is also risky because you could not predict it. Understand? The moment you cannot estimate, expect, and the outcome is maybe more or less than what you had anticipated, it is risky, even if it is better, because you could not forecast it, right? So of course you are also to evaluate the performance of management, because they are investing in not only companies, they invest in management, they invest in CEOs and CFOs. So they also evaluate the performance of management. Right? This is a good example of British Petroleum and Royal Bank of Scotland, where the shareholders were not happy because the managers were asking for generous pay where the company was not doing well. So this happens in, so once again it is tied with the performance of course, right? So present investors as well as potential investors look at this. The next is lenders. Why lenders look at it? It is
Because they
1108,
had
yes.
lended the money
Have to
to
make
the
sure that
company.
their
So
money is like, utilized properly and it's safe. And they're
Yes.
not going to lose everything.
Okay, yes.
So they need to know whether they're making enough profits to repay them the loan and the interest.
Yes, because they have given money, right? Or they may be giving money. So they want to evaluate for long-term solvency and stability of the business, whether the company has capacity to repay the money, right? All of you are right? Uh, they also look at the credit ratings of the business, right? And if the company is not doing so well, they sometimes ask for security collateral against the loan, right? So I think it's 1108, 1109 now. Let us take this only. Why security analysis companies, rating agencies, and other information management companies also look at accounting information? Last one, beta. Please. Last. Why they look at? They also look at it.
to rate the companies according to the credit, credit
Worthiness.
ability, credit worthiness.
Yeah, they have to check the credit worthiness, like CRISIL and everything. That how good they are with managing the debtors and are they satisfying, like
It
meeting
is
all
their
the
job.
conditions.
The single line answer is it is their job, right? Isn't that their job to rate companies, and for that they require financial information? And wonderful, all of you are right. Of course, it is their job to judge companies, right? So that's why they look at it. So they they interpret the financial reports. They suggest that to their clients, right? So we have discussed 3, 4. Managers are very straightforward. I have discussed. Employees also do it. Suppliers also do it. Customers also look at financial. Government also look at it, and public also look at it. I will discuss this next time. Now, what I'm going to do for my this thing, I'm going to take the snapshot of all the participants there in the classroom right now, and I'm also going to generate report online. So, and you know the policy now. Certain amount of percentage you should be there in the classroom, right? So please just give me a second. I will just take the snapshot. That's it. So that I could later mark it, right? At my convenience. So students, thank you so much. It's time. I am ending the session. Thank you so much. I'm ending the session.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, sir.